Yeah, I do think this is a two-man race between Peyton Pritchard and Malik Beasley. Like, DeAndre Hunter is awesome, but Cleveland can't even get straight who they want their six-man candidate to be. Like, there's people out there that are campaigning for Ty Jerome. There's people out there campaigning for DeAndre Hunter. I just think Jerome has a bigger following from Cavs fans since he's been there the whole season. Hunter is like the mercenary guy that they traded for at the deadline. Great trade, but like Jerome feels like their own guy. So like, I don't even think they can even get that straight, but both guys, I love them. They were all awesome Virginia Cavaliers. They were great. They won me a lot of money way back when they won the national title. But I think we have a two-player race between Pritchard and Beasley. And the betting market has it as like almost a coin flip. I don't think that's actually like true. I think that Pritchard should be a little bit of a bigger favorite here. I think, to me, it's not exactly one-to-one because it's a little bit different. But Malik Beasley is starting to feel a little like Emmanuel Quickley-ish to me from a couple of years ago when we had the Quickley versus Brogdon six-man of the year race. And like Quickley ultimately got knocked because he started too many games, or like that was kind of like the knock on him. Like, oh, all of his production comes when he starts. And it's not from like when he's off the bench. That's not the case here with Beasley. Beasley's coming off the bench, shooting at a 50% clip from three-point range. He's outstanding. But also the star of that team and the face of that team is Cade Cunningham. And this is like an upstart team. I don't know if the Detroit Pistons are going to win 2 awards, even though that they're a great story. Like, they're as great of a story as they are, they're going to be like a 45-win team. That's not what usually wins sixth man of the year. It's usually like 50, 52 wins plus to get this award. That was Naz Reid last year. T-Wolves, 50-win team. That was Brogdon a couple of years ago. Celtics, like in the high 50s. The Pistons, they're playing at a 45-win pace. If they go 45-37, is everyone writing down Malik Beasley to win this award? Yes, he averages more points per game than Peyton Pritchard, but a lot of the advanced numbers, which people start to look at more with this award, they favor Peyton Pritchard. You look at PER, Pritchard has the better PER, which is player efficiency rating. You look at like the value over replacement player, like VORP, all the other acronym stuff, Peyton Pritchard has the lead. So yeah, he's not your traditional like get buckets, Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams type of guy off the bench, but he's still an effective player off the bench from an advanced numbers standpoint. So I still think that Pritchard's going to win this award. Beasley, if the Pistons continue to just rack off wins, maybe it actually gets to the point where he can win, but I think you need Detroit to continue to play above their skis a little bit for him to win. I think Pritchard's the safer bet, and if the price continues to shrink like this, I think we need to be in there betting Peyton Pritchard to win the Sixth Man of the Year award.
So we're off to a bad start in terms of the quick hitters here.
Sorry, I just had a lot. I'm very, very interested.
No, to be fair, like your analysis was awesome.
Yeah,
just like
the other ones will be quick.
So far behind on the show.
Yeah. Hit me with rookie of the year. That'll be quick.
Well, let's do most improved player next, just to keep on the Pistons theme, because this is just like,
yeah, it's tough.
Rest in peace. The Norman Powell most improved player bet's going. I'm going to start. I think I'm going to call it the Kansas City Chiefs Memorial Graveyard. Powell's not even listed anymore because now the hamstring injury just sucks. Cade Cunningham is now minus 600 most improved. Tyler Hero is next to plus 700. Christian Brown of the Nuggets at 16-1. Femi, anything doing with most improved player?
No, I think Cade's going to win the award. Like, again, there's going to be people who don't have Cade on their ballot. It's not going to be like a landslide or like a slam dunk or anything like that. It's just going to feel like it goes similar to like Tyrese Maxey last year. Not everybody had Maxey on their ballot, but he was still the consensus guy. I think Cade's going to win it. Norman Powell could have beaten Cade, but now you remove Norman Powell from the player participation policy standpoint. Like, he's hurt. Like, he's not going to meet the required games. Now there's nobody else to really turn to. Maybe Tyler Hero, but the Heat, I mean, they suck. Like the Miami Heat suck. And like the Pistons are at least a good story. They're going to be a top 6 seed. I think Cade Cunningham, barring injury or something crazy happens, is going to win most improved player.
Yeah, that's the Norman Powell stuff is sad. That's most improved player. All right. What about we'll save rookie of the year. What about clutch player? Where Jalen Brunson is a big favorite in this market, Femi, despite Trae Young having more clutch points than Jalen Brunson. So Young and Nikola Jokic both at plus 700. I mean, Brunson, to be fair, was spectacular down the stretch against Memphis, was insane yesterday on Sunday down the stretch against the Miami Heat. He's obviously been great. I love him. He's a Knick, and I want him to win. Brunson minus 275. Femi, is the price right for Jalen Brunson to be this big of a favorite? Clutch player of the year.
I think it might be a little rich, but I think we're in the range. Like, my guess is that it should be probably like minus 200, minus 220 in that kind of a range there, because this is where it's going to be interesting with this award in particular, because like I know a lot of people think that awards are just narrative based. No, they're oftentimes very production based, and the Clutch Player of the Year has been solely based on production. This is the third year of its existence. The last 2 years, it's gone directly to the guy that has the most clutch points. And like the way the NBA defines that is points that are scored in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or in overtime in games that have a 5-point margin. It's very, very silly, but like that's what they define as clutch. And if you score the most points with that, over the last couple of years, you've won this award. De'Aaron Fox a couple of years ago. Last year, it was Steph Curry. Fox was on the 3-seed Kings team. Curry last year, the Warriors were a play-in team, but they were 10 games above 500. This is where it's going to get tricky, because if things continue to play out how they have, and Trae Young ends up having the most clutch points, the Hawks are a bad team. They're like 6 games below 500, and the Knicks are your 3-seed in the East. Like, how are they going to balance out the point differential with the team success? We've never had to answer that question, so that's why I think it's really interesting. I think they're going to lean with Brunson because Brunson is the better player. The Knicks are a better story than the Atlanta Hawks, and like he has like this reputation of being a big-time player, but I'm fascinated to see how it plays out because Trae Young is in the lead, and his price, I don't think it should be plus 700. It should be shorter, so I guess inherently there's value there on Trae Young, but I do see a scenario where Jalen Brunson wins because he's got the media market, he's got the team, the stage, and his clutch points are going towards winning, whereas Trae Young's clutch points are going towards being like the 9 seed in the Eastern Conference play-in tournament.
Can you parlay at BetMGM Jalen Brunson clutch player of the year with Jalen Brunson finals MVP or no?
Ooh, I have not tried that, but my guess would be no. But yes, I have not tried it.
Strong guess. Yeah. Last one, rookie of the year.
Mid-off.
It's not the most fun market we've ever diagnosed here on the show. Stephon Castle is the favorite for the Spurs right now. And to be fair, I said this to Femi earlier in the day, every time there's a Spurs game on TV, it's just like, here's some crazy Stephon. He's awesome. He's a great player. Castle minus 210, Jalen Wells plus 325. Another Grizzly, Zach Edey, is at 20-1, along with Kel'el Ware of the Miami Heat, and our guy, Zachary Rissache.
Man.
We barely knew ye, Zachary.
I love Rissache so much. He's not even good, but I just want him to win this award because I don't want a lot of money. But anyways.
Yeah, you don't love him. Yeah. I don't want to be clear. I don't love Zachary Rissache. I want him to win Rookie of the Year because I could buy a small island if he wins Rookie of the Year, which he's not going to, unfortunately. No. But, yeah.
I love saying his name, like Rissache. Like, it's a great name. But anyways, Stephon Castle, I think, is going to be the guy that wins this award, barring injury. Even the broadcasts in the game last night, like at halftime, they were raving about how well Stephon Castle was playing and like how good of a player he is. Like, we say it's a mid-off, it's bad. Like, I don't think any of these guys are going to be like franchise-changing guys. Maybe Stephon Castle could be like the 3rd best player on a title team or something like that at his peak ceiling. But everyone, if you ask casual basketball fans or people who just watch the game, like, I think most people would tell you who's the best rookie in this year. They'd say it's Stephon Castle. And I think that's how people are going to fill out their ballots. He's a high draft pick. He has the pedigree. Jalen Wells to me feels like more so like a kind of a cult following on social media amongst bettors who may have bet him at big prices. Like those things, like you're going to get a push and it's going to drive the market to some degree, but I don't think it's going to get him home to win the award. So I think Castle, as long as he continues to just play like how he's been playing, score your like 16, 17, 18 points per night. In last night's case, 20 plus, I think he's going to win this award unless he were to get injured and all of a sudden somebody else can steal it from him in the final month of the season. But I think it's going to be Castle.
I'm seeing a lot of people after what was like a great weekend in the NBA. If people are banging on the NBA this year, like watch the games, they're sick. LeBron should be in the MVP consideration. Jalen Brunson should get MVP consideration. Donovan Mitchell should get MVP consideration. Jokic, Tatum, and Giannis are both up there on the odds board, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a huge favorite. Femi, any reason to believe that SGA is vulnerable as favorite for NBA MVP? 30 seconds.
Zero reason to believe that SGA is vulnerable. He's playing on a team that's going to have like the 2nd best record in the league. They're going to win 65 plus games. He's outstanding. He was the runner-up last year, an all NBA guy. This is the point in the calendar where we get to content season in the NBA where, hey, How about I float out Donovan Mitchell MVP or LeBron James MVP? No, it's not happening. Those guys' stats don't even come close to what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing, and he's on the better team from a regular season win standpoint. This is SGA, barring something crazy happening, and the crazy thing happening would be Jokic winning again. So these other tertiary candidates, no, it's just flavor of the week. These guys can't chase down SGA. He's going to be the MVP unless he gets injured.